This is Cerebral Cinema. Movies of the mind.
I have been here.
The Grey Goose, Adventures of a Modern Robin Hood.
The episode of the Chinese cafe cum opium den left me rather sad. True, I'd put Scotland Yard onto a narcotic clean-up, but in doing so, I'd caused a woman to be shot to death. Admittedly, she was a dealer in narcotics, and as low as they make 'em. But she knew me and where I lived. Thus, I still remain the undiscovered Grey Goose. The next incident in my life was strangely arranged by fate. I went down to an old farmhouse just near the coast of Norfolk, Old Man Norman's farm. Here I thought to rest and relax and forget that, virtually, Roland Fletcher was a wanted man. 6 a.m. Nothing to do, nobody to see, and a lovely summer morning. Yes, a lovely day, I think. Great heavens! Cows, dogs, hens, and the saints forbid, geese, Norfolk geese, grey geese.
I've got a cup of tea and some breakfast for ye, master.
Thank you, come in.
Thank you, sir.
Put the tray down there. That's a good girl.
Lovely morn, sir, it being.
That's right. Lovely morn it being, as you said.
And begging your pardon, sir, Father Norman to be wanting to pay you a visit. Come, you, finish your breakfast.
Tilda. Well, Tilda, inform my old friend Father Norman that there's no need to wait. Ask him to step up straight away.
'Tis good, I'll tell him.
Take my shoes away, will you, and give them a bit of a polish?
Certain it is, sir.
This is good. Delicious. Come in. Why, good morning, Father Norman. You've arranged a grand day for the reception of a truly worn-out citizen of London?
'Tis a grand morning, Mr. Fletcher, and 'tis glad I am. But...
No buts, please. I'm going to finish this excellent fodder, then get out onto your pastures, and, if you've the time to teach me, learn a little about being a farmer's boy. I say, what's wrong?
There's little time to teach ye now, sir.
Why, what's amiss, Mr. Norman? You look terribly worried.
Mr. Fletcher, you booked for to come and stay with an old family friend for a month.
By Jove, yes, I might stay longer.
I'm afeard not. Come over to your window for a minute.
All right. Every stick and stone out by 11. Hear me? Yes, by 11. Every stick. Remember, the sale's at 11 prompt. Now get about it. Get busy.
What the devil is all that about?
I'll tell ye. I'm being sold up at 8 hours' notice. That's the end of 20 years of hard work on this farm. But when you arranged to come down, I thought I could weather the storm, or I shouldn't have let you come, do you see? But last night, as ever was, Ardcastle, the bailiff, comes along and demands his dues or a sell out of this house. So, Mr. Fletcher, you can't now have your holiday at Norman's farm because they're back to Norman's farm.
Tell me some more.
Oh, ain't much to tell. I owe Malcolm Gregory, that's the big owner round here, £1,500. The farm is worth 5,000, and I could make it 10,000, only there ain't the time to do it in. So without warning, he sells me out.
There's more to it than that, surely. What's to stop you selling out and paying him his 1,500?
I can't do it. I got a lease which forbids me selling without his permission. Else I could do what you say.
Isn't there any alternative?
Oh, yeah. He's got a no-good lout of a son, Hal Gregory. He wants my girl, who'll have none of him.
I see. Well, look here. I'll fix myself up at the local, so don't let that worry you. But tell me, how does this daughter of yours regard the proposal of Hal as her husband?
She hates his shadow, and small blame to her. I'd as lief see her dead as agree to her wedding with that piece of dirt. Well, forgive me for the inconvenience I've caused you. If you could find it convenient to move over to the inn, I'll be much obliged.
I'll get going in no time, and I'm not going to let the inconvenience worry me a bit. You were telephoned here, I take it?
Yes, near the front door downstairs.
Right. I'll be down in no time and ring the local pub. By the way, is this Malcolm Gregory the local big noise?
He is. The big noise. Morton Hamley was bought by him and all the lands and farm hereabout. Well, Tilda and I'll stay here a few days just to watch the sale, and then we'll be on our way somewhere else and try and start all over again.
Tilda, you mentioned her.
My daughter.
She brought me breakfast. Heavens, I thought she was a farm servant.
Probably she spoke like one, too. Oh, she's a rare one for joking.
And I told her to go and clean my shoes.
And she's probably done 'em by now.
My hat, I hope not. Well, I'll just finish off here, pack a few traps, and then your telephone, if you please. Yes? Yes, hello? Is that you, Barbara? Fine, but don't waste time on my health. I've stumbled on something I'm interested in. No, it's not a blonde. Yes, well, there is a girl connected with it, but she's, milk and roses and chestnut and, huh? Oh, yes, I quite realize that you're not interested. Good. But are you interested in the 40 Thieves still? You are, aren't you? Ha, I thought that would rock you. Well, have a look at your list. Is the name Malcolm Gregory on it? It is? Excellent. Tell me more. Oh, an estate agent, eh? Used to be... What? Yes, I've got it. Even sold up your dad's property. Yes. Well, he's here at a place called Morton Hamley. No, for heaven's sake, don't come down here. When I tell you there's a nice, ripe apple on the tree, then you can come down and pluck it. See if you can find Charlie Austin. Tell him to come down. I shall be at the Hunter's Inn, Holt, near King's Lynn. Right. Gregory. Thought I was right.
I'm so sorry. My father tells me you know about our having to ask you to make other arrangements.
That's so, Miss Norman, and I'm going to be a big loser. I shan't have Tilda to bring me my breakfast tomorrow.
Just one of my jokes, Mr. Fletcher. I hope you'll excuse the farmhand act. And now, is there anything you require?
Yes, my shoes. I gave them to that farmhand girl to clean.
Here they be, sir. I hope there's satisfaction for you.
No, I could have done them better myself. Seriously, Miss Norman, this is a bad thing.
It's a hopeless thing, Mr. Fletcher, and there's an end of it.
Now, please don't talk of ends. There's generally a way out of troubles to be found.
There's one way, and it would save Father and the farm.
You mean you and Hal Gregory?
Yes.
You don't like the idea?
I loathe the said Hal.
Then, of course, that's the end of it.
Definitely.
Supposing I can find an alternative.
Oh, how can you, a perfect stranger?
Perfect stranger may be to you, but I'm not a stranger altogether to Mr. Malcolm Gregory. Perhaps
Nonsense. Nothing you could do would help in that quarter.
So you think. However, we won't pursue an unpleasant subject. Tell me, he lives alone?
Except when his frightful son comes down. He's generally alone in Morton Hamley, the big house. No servants will stay for long.
Why?
Oh, he just doesn't know how to treat people.
Just an unpleasant character, eh?
Definitely.
In that case, he may be dealt with.
I think not.
Look here, Tilda. The more unpleasant they are, the better I can deal with them.
I hope you'll be wise, Mr. Fletcher, and do nothing, because, well, this is our fight, my father's and mine. We've lost. That's all there is to it.
Nonsense. Believe me, Miss Norman, there's always a way out. I think I said that.
You did.
Well, I meant it. So, nil desperandum. I may shortly have news for you. By the way, Tilda, I notice my brown shoes want cleaning also. Anything doing?
You are a comfort, aren't you, Mr. Fletcher? Oh, yes, sir. The gentleman's shoes were being ready at once.
That's a girl. And a very nice girl. Well, Charlie, I'm glad you could come. I've told you the whole story. In fact, I've told you all I know.
Usual landlord and tenant business, Mr. X. Nothing to it.
That's where you're wrong. This man, Malcolm Gregory, is, to my almost certain knowledge, a crook.
Maybe so, but where do we come in?
We've got to find means to provide evidence that he is. There's much more to this than meets the eye. Remember, I told you how he's got his grips onto Norman's farm.
Including the fixtures.
Fixtures?
The dame.
Charlie, she's no dame. She's a very delectable piece of femininity.
That's so. She's a dame.
Right. Now, you know the marriage angle.
You told me.
Yes, so I did. But before that happens, I promised to take a hand. What I can do, I don't know.
Just being Sir Gailey Lad, it seems.
Sir Gailey? Oh, yes, I've got the idea. Maiden in distress and all that.
And Sir Gailey Lad rescues the damsel. Old stuff, Mr. X.
True, but constantly recurring. Now, this is it, Charlie. You and I are going to pay a visit to old man Gregory. And by the means you and I know of, see if we can't find something against him.
Here, that's going on the black.
True, in a way. Because if we do, we'll go for him good and proper, and thus force him to let up on Farmer Norman.
And also the girl, Norman. Bless me, Mr. X. I didn't think you'd fall for the piece in nylons and blonde-washed hair.
I'm not falling anywhere, Charlie. Matter of fact, I'm very much interested in Gregory himself. His name happens to be on a certain list, and if I know anything, I shall soon be able to cross him off.
Paid in full, as it were.
Paid in full, Charlie. What the deuce is that?
Church bell, I reckon.
What? At this time of night? Open that window, Charlie. Fire? Good heavens, what a scrimmage. I say, you down there.
Hello, Governor.
What's on?
A fire, that's what's on.
They do ring the church bells in the country for fires, Mr. Hex.
So they do. Hi, you. Where's the fire?
Down to Norman's farm, so they tells. Reckon they's right, too. Fine blaze, too. Better than I've seen in many a day.
A real blaze, eh?
'Tis that sure. 'Twill be down to ground in a matter of moments. Hey, fine blaze. Naught can save un.
Thank you. Charlie.
Yes, Mr. Hex.
It has become more necessary than ever that we investigate Mr. Gregory. This fire, my lad, at Norman's farm is no accident. Definitely no accident.
How can Roland Fletcher surmise as he does concerning the fire at Norman's farm? Listen again to these stories of the modern Robin Hood, the Grey Goose.
Cerebral Cinema hopes you have enjoyed this movie of the mind.